that's not nothing is covered by dental insurance. Dental insurance is a total sham. Dental
Right.
insurance is you
I
get
have
your
TMJ, and I
cleanings
ended up having to spend $1,500
right on a mouth
for
guard.
on a mouth
Biggest
guard.
sham
I
in
was like, "What is not?" And
biggest.
I was, like, in pain. I was like, "This is, like,
Dental dental
crazy."
insurance is basically for 2 cleanings a year,
That's it.
and you get about 20% off a filling. Like,
Right,
who cares?
and don't get fluoride or something. Don't get fluoride or don't get some if you can't have a deep cleaning. If you need a deep
No.
cleaning, you might be in trouble.
And the fillings that they cover or the dental work is, like, the stuff from, like, 1980. So they're like,
A
"Yeah, if you
cap
want a steel composite with a, yeah, metal cap on top,"
that
but
might
those
kill you.
yeah, those have been known to cause cancer and kill people, so if you want anything else, like our new cool 3D printer, none of that's covered.
That'll cost you at least $2,200
Right. Cha-ching,
per tooth.
cha-ching,
Per
cha-ching. Yeah,
tooth.
exactly,
Right, right.
exactly.
Okay, so if we're going through, who do you call in your insurance if you need help? Like, I know that there's some concierge or there's people that you can call. Who do you call when you need help? Because I think, I mean, I've never called my quote unquote care coordinator.
No, my friends.
My friends. You call me and I go, girl, I think
Yeah.
you don't have an HSA, you have an FSA, but
I
it's
start
fine.
taking pictures of things and going like, "What do I do?" No, I mean, I so here's the thing, we talked about this very early on in our season about, like, advocating for your or our, show, advocating for yourself with the doctors. I think part of that is, like, there's some people that go into the call the doctor before they go and say, "Here's what I'm getting done. I know I'm covered by insurance, but what's it gonna be billed at? How much is it gonna cost? Blah, 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 blah," which apparently is, like, an absolutely fine thing to do. Because 'cause I've
Yes.
heard people do it when I'm in the doctor's office, and I'm like, "Why didn't I do that?" Because I don't. I just, like, get the thing done, and then I'm just like, hope the thing" I mean, I saw that they were a network, so I have no idea what this is gonna cost, and then I just that first thing you get that says, "This is not a bill," I'm always like, "Okay, is there something else coming in the mail?" Like, I don't ever know who to call. I just wait.
But even if you call them and ask them, $2,200, as I will say, you still may not be sure because something you might be deductible or not deductible. But most insurances have someone for you to call. And I will say, this is a and I will, for a lot of, people who lost their jobs recently, they don't have anybody to call. And so we want to acknowledge that this is a privileged dialogue and a privileged conversation. But I want to say that yes, most insurances, you can call them, you can ask them, who is this doctor in network? Is this available to me? Do I get this long list of preventative medicine, tests and so forth? And I think that's where I always just say call the insurance company. The back of your card has an 800 number. Start there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I actually, like the first time I did that was when I was inside that health facility who was trying to charge me another $3,200 for a mammogram, and I was like, "You know what? Let me just call them." And I
Right.
called them, and that's how I found out that they were trying to charge me for before. So, they are helpful. I think it's just a matter of, like, it feels like you shouldn't have. I think I get over it's like, I feel like I shouldn't have to, so then I don't, but it's like the reality of insurance today in America is you have to call because no one knows what they're doing. And also, doctors are changing, like, every year. Like, you're like,
Yes.
I have a doctor who's like, I'm calling around in December, and they're like, "Well, we actually don't know what plans we're gonna cover in January." I'm like, "Or what plans are gonna cover us in January?" I'm like, "Okay." Then you call in January, and they're like, "Yeah, we can see you in, June." And you're
Right,
like, "Okay."
or a lot of doctors are trying to kinda weed out people, and so
Right.
now they've moved to concierge service. So in addition to what may be an out-of-pocket, you're paying a yearly could be upwards of
I know.
1,800 or $2,000 for maybe what may not be quote unquote "concierge service." So and
Yeah.
especially in California, I will say LA is the worst when it comes to trying to find a good old-fashioned doctor that's not trying to get you to, increase what you're paying them.
Right. Well, that's, like, a few years ago, before Amazon bought them, I used One Medical,